First up this evening, sky-high danger, the fire brigade's response to our primetime news probe, which unearthed the danger people in some multi-storied and high-rise buildings in the corporate area face should there be a fire. In the face of multi-storied and high-rise buildings without fire extinguishers, hoses or evacuation plans, the brigade is saying its hands are essentially tied. It needs more power to tackle those in breach.
The brigade admitted there could be many breaches taking place and says it's partly to be blamed. So why is it powerless to act?
TVJ's Shamela Mitchell has a story you'll only see on Primetime News.
A recent visit to Tivoli Gardens and Caribbean Palms in Kingston showed that the four-story residential buildings had no fire safety procedures in place in case of a fire. What that means is that there are no hoses, no reels, no fire extinguishers, and no evacuation plan in place. We checked with the Jamaica Fire Brigade's Assistant Commissioner of Fire Prevention, Sean Martin, who revealed that the building code regulations categorically state that residential buildings should have these things in place.
If there are no fire protections in place, like there are no hose reels and there are no rising main, there are no fire extinguishers, and there are no evacuation plan, these are clear breaches of the building regulation.
And there are more breaches, according to some residents.
One way in and one way out. There is no escape.
But according to Assistant Commissioner Martin,
Building code tells that the minimum requirement should be 2. If one person occupy a building, you should have 1 entrance and at least 1 exit. So it should be 2. So the minimum requirement of the code is 2. So that in itself is a breach.
Assistant Commissioner Martin says several agencies are to be blamed for the breach. However, he admits that the fire brigade should be partly responsible.
Because it is our responsibility to inspect all multi-story buildings which are not private dwellings. So we should have conducted our inspection, we should have written our reports, and those reports would have indicated the breaches.
Which also means over 100 men, women and children lives are in danger, as a fire can spread within seconds depending on the fire load.
The content of the building itself is what will actually give off the carbon monoxide, and especially at night it could be more dangerous because what will happen, carbon monoxide will actually put you into a deeper state of sleep, so you will not be awoken by the smoke itself. The smoke will put you into a deeper sense of sleep. What will awake you is really the heat from the fire. And when the heat becomes intense enough to awake you, then I dare tell you it's too late.
Assistant Commissioner Martin also admitted that they have had incidents of injuries in those communities in the past. He says fire prevention in that area is weak in how they're able to get people to comply with fire safety regulations, which is why they have changed their regulations. That, he says, should go before Parliament for approval in the coming year.
Those regulations would allow us to be able to close buildings for life safety breaches. Because as it exists now, the regulation is not there. We have to depend on other agencies to assist us if we need to close somewhere. And sometimes, if it is not in their interest, they might not necessarily want to do it.
Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.